Hello everyone, we have another double feature for you today. Two fragrances from the brand Carner Barcelona. These are called Sal y Limon, and we have Bobo. These are two amazing summertime fragrances, so I specifically waited until this time of the year to review them because I think they are very appropriate for the season. I'm looking forward to giving you my thoughts on these two fragrances, so make sure to stay tuned. Now, before I begin today's video and I tell you all about these two fragrances by Carner Barcelona, the occasions, the smell, the performance, the longevity, comparisons, so on and so forth, I do want to start things off by saying that if you're a fan of fragrance-related content, please do consider supporting the channel by subscribing to it. Hit the bell icon so you could be notified whenever I do upload these daily videos to YouTube. And of course, give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it or if you took something of value from today's episode. It would really mean a lot to me. So here we have two really interesting fragrances. The first one is called Sal y Limon, and the name translates to salt and lemon. This fragrance has Italian lemon, lime, and bergamot in the opening, cassis, orange flower, and jasmine in the heart, so it does get a little bit floral. You have amber, musk, and patchouli in the base. Now, Bobo, on the other hand, has bergamot, mandarin, and black currant in the opening. The main floral ingredient in this one is African orange flower. There is also a little bit of Indian jasmine and lily of the valley. In the base, you have white amber, musk, and vetiver. I'm going to try to make some comparisons and really break these down in layman's terms so that we can all properly understand what they smell like and maybe have a better frame of reference or a better state of mind in terms of what we can expect from the smell. But let's go ahead and start things off with a quick look at the presentation. So the first one that we'll talk about is called Sal y Limon, and of course the name means salt and lemon. This fragrance opens up very fresh, and of course it's not just the lemon that you're going to get in the opening. You get bergamot, you also get a little bit of lime as well, so it opens up very juicy, very fruity. As a matter of fact, that juiciness you get in the opening is something that you would expect from like a Creed Ventus. It doesn't smell like a Ventus, by the way. As a matter of fact, I thought that in the opening, it kind of smelled a little bit like a Neroli Portofino, but it doesn't, right? You give this one like 20 seconds to dry down. You're like, oh, this is interesting. So it almost has that Creed Ventus like opening with the bergamot and the lime and the lemon, and it's very fresh and inviting. But it does get rather floral with a touch of the cassis. Now, it's interesting because cassis is one of these ingredients that can have kind of an animalic touch to it. Luckily, in this fragrance, it doesn't get too animalic, which is a good thing. Actually, not animalic at all. I find that it has more of the floral components than anything in here. But I did notice that it does have this really nice, vibrant, sort of an orange blossom ingredient. The jasmine in here is very nicely done. In terms of the base notes, I would probably say the musk and the patchouli come across stronger than anything else. A nice, soft, smooth, earthy texture. This one is beautiful, very natural smelling as well. And the next fragrance that we'll talk about here is Bobo. Now, Bobo is also very bright, very fresh in the opening. It also hits you with that bouquet of citrus, specifically the Italian bergamot, Italian mandarin, and you do have black currant in the opening as well. Now, this fragrance seems like it has a quicker evolution. The first one, Sal y Limon, it kind of lingers on those initial bright citrusy notes and it smells wonderful in my opinion. This one opens up very fresh, but it very quickly progresses to the heart. You do have this African orange flower ingredient in there. And for me, there's one other fragrance that contains that similar ingredient that I truly love, and it's by Profumum Roma, and it's called Batito Dali. Now, this fragrance smells very different. As a matter of fact, I looked online, and some people had been comparing it to Jardin de Malfi by Creed, which is one of Creed's more expensive fragrances, and I can kind of see what they mean, as a matter of fact. I do feel like it has somewhat of a similarity to Jardin de Malfi, but that's a fragrance that I always compare to Light Blue for Women by Dolce & Gabbana. So this one doesn't come across as plain, in my opinion. This one is very natural. It does have the Indian jasmine and the lily of the valley, and The floral ingredients are just so bright and beautiful and so abundant, and I truly love it. In the base, you have white amber, musk, and vetiver. And for me personally, this is more of like a laid-back, relaxing vacation sort of a fragrance. Sal y Limon is more like very bright, energetic. Maybe you're still on vacation, but it's the morning time, you're running a few errands, or maybe you're trying to get some work done before you can lay by the pool and relax with a cocktail in your hand, right? So Bobo is more like the tranquil, relaxed, like seaside escape, ocean sort of vibe type of a fragrance, whereas Sal y Limon is more very bright and very energetic. And like I said, I kind of compared it to the opening of Creed Aventus. Obviously this one has no vanilla, it doesn't smell too much like Creed Aventus, but that bright initial juicy opening is kind of what you can expect from it. All in all, Sal y Limon and Bobo are two amazing fragrances from this Spanish niche brand, Carner Barcelona. Both are so amazing for the summertime, and they will certainly be featured in upcoming lists of mine when I'm talking about some of my favorite summer fragrances. Let's go ahead and finish things off with my overall assessment. Now, first up, in terms of the uniqueness and the overall smell, both of these fragrances are very unique. I dropped a few other frames of references throughout the course of this video, but that's really just to get you in the mindset of what you can more or less expect them to smell like. These are not inspirations. They're not carbon copies of any of these fragrances. They stand on their own two legs, and they're really wonderful. They do have a certain special layer of originality about them that I really admire. In terms of the overall smell, both of them are incredibly mass appealing. In terms of the longevity, both of these will get you about 7 hours on your skin. I also found that the projection was pretty similar for both of these as well. They both kind of projected very well beyond an arm's length for the first 45 minutes of application. They became an elbow's length scent right around hour 4 or 5, and they became a skin scent right around hour 7, 7.5. Versatility, great for the hotter weather, perfectly unisex, great for anybody of any age. I would say Sal y Limon is probably the one I can see myself wearing formally, but I think Bobo is the more casual one. So just keep that in mind, although I would wear this one casually as well. And in terms of the presentation, I really do enjoy the presentation. The bottles are heavy, the wooden cap, the names, the color palette, everything is very well thought out. My final verdict on these two fragrances are they are amazing releases from the brand for the summertime. I know this brand actually has a lot of really wonderful hot weather fragrances. I haven't explored everything the brand has to offer, full disclosure, but I am letting you know if you're interested in checking these fragrances out, sampling them, purchasing them, whatever, just reading up about them, getting to know them a little bit better. All of the links are going to be down below, and I do have a special coupon code that you can use to redeem a good price on both of these fragrances if you're looking at getting them below retail. And I think a lot of people are always on the hunt for a special deal. But in any case, thank you so much for joining me today. That was my review of these two wonderful fragrances by Carner Barcelona. If you own or have tried any of these fragrances, let me know what you think. Leave your comments down below. Always love the interaction, and I try to reply to as many comments as possible. Again, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell, and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Thanks again for watching. Love you guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.